What happens when royalty meets late-night television and everything falls apart in the most spectacular way possible? In just 37 seconds, one comment turned a friendly interview into the most shocking exit in talk show history. Jon Stewart sat behind his desk that night, ready for what he thought would be a standard interview. The studio audience buzzed with excitement. Meghan Markle walked out to massive applause, waving to the crowd like she owned the place. She settled into the guest chair with a smile that seemed just a little too confident. "Welcome to the show," Jon said warmly, extending his hand for a shake. She took it briefly, barely making eye contact. "Thank you for having me. Finally, a show with some intelligence." The audience laughed, but Jon's eyebrows raised slightly. "Well, we try our best here. So, let's talk about your new projects." "Actually," Meghan interrupted, leaning forward, "I'd rather talk about what really matters. The way the media has treated me. The way this country has failed to understand what I've been through." Jon nodded politely. "Sure, we can discuss that, but I think our audience would love to hear about the charitable work you've been doing." "Charitable work?" She laughed, but it wasn't a friendly sound. "Jon, do you know what it's like to wake up every single day and be attacked? To have every move you make criticized by people who have no idea what they're talking about?" "I think a lot of public figures deal with criticism," Jon replied carefully. "It comes with the territory." "Public figures?" Meghan's voice went up a notch. "I'm not just a public figure, Jon. I'm someone who gave up everything. My career, my freedom, my privacy. And for what? To be torn apart by tabloids and jealous people who can't stand to see a strong woman succeed." The audience had gone quiet. Jon shifted in his seat. "I understand media scrutiny is difficult, but..." "But what?" she snapped. "But I should just accept it. Is that what you're saying?" "No. I'm saying that many people face challenges. And..." "Many people?" Meghan stood up slightly, then sat back down. "Many people didn't marry into one of the most famous families in the world. Many people don't know what it's like to be constantly judged, constantly picked apart." Jon took a breath. "Meghan, I'm not trying to minimize your experience. I'm just trying to have a conversation here." "A conversation?" She laughed again, sharper this time. "This is what you call a conversation? You sitting there, judging me like everyone else?" "I'm not judging you," Jon said, his voice steady but firm. "I'm trying to ask you questions. That's literally my job." "Your job?" she repeated mockingly. "Your job is to sit in your comfortable little chair and make jokes while people like me suffer. Do you have any idea what real pressure feels like?" The audience was completely silent now. You could hear people shifting uncomfortably in their seats. Jon leaned back. "Meghan, I've been doing this for a long time. I've interviewed presidents, world leaders, activists, people who've been through things that would break most of us. And not once have I had someone come on this show and treat it like their personal therapy session while insulting me." "Insulting you?" Her voice went shrill. "You think this is about you? Everything is always about you people, isn't it? You people in the media who build people up just to tear them down. You people?" Jon's tone shifted. "What exactly do you mean by that?" "The media!" she shouted. "The establishment. Everyone who's had it so easy and can't understand what it's like for someone like me." "Someone like you," Jon repeated slowly. "Meghan, you're sitting here in a television studio on a major talk show with millions of dollars and opportunities most people will never have. I'm not saying you haven't faced difficulties, but this attitude..." "This attitude?" She stood up this time. "This attitude is called standing up for myself. Something women are punished for constantly." "Sitting down would be great, actually," Jon said. "And standing up for yourself doesn't mean attacking the person trying to have a conversation with you." "Attacking?" Meghan's hands flew up. "If you think this is attacking, you're more sensitive than I thought. I came here expecting intelligent discourse, and instead I get this amateur hour." The audience gasped. Jon's face remained calm, but his jaw tightened. Amateur hour. Interesting choice of words from someone who's currently having a meltdown on live television. Meltdown? She screeched. How dare you? How absolutely dare you sit there and gaslight me like this? I'm not gaslighting you, Jon said evenly. I'm responding to what you're actually saying and doing right now. You're twisting everything, Meghan pointed at him. This is exactly what they all do. Twist my words, make me look bad, so paint me as the villain. Meghan, nobody's twisting anything. You walked in here, dismissed the show, interrupted me multiple times, insulted our audience, and are now shouting at me. Those are just facts. Facts? She was fully standing now, her voice echoing through the studio. You want facts? The fact is that people like you are terrified of powerful women. The fact is that you can't handle someone who doesn't bow down and play your little game. The only game here is having a civil conversation, Jon said. Something you seem incapable of doing right now. Civil? Meghan grabbed her purse from beside the chair. There's nothing civil about this setup. This whole thing, this desk, this dynamic, it's all designed to make you feel powerful and your guests feel small. Then why did you agree to come on? Jon asked. Nobody forced you to be here. Because I thought you were different, she yelled. I thought Jon Stewart would actually listen, would actually care about the truth. But you're just like all the rest of them. The rest of who? Jon's patience was clearly wearing thin. Meghan, you've been here less than 10 minutes, and you've spent the entire time attacking me and complaining. Not once have you actually tried to have a real conversation. Real conversation? She was pacing now, back and forth in the small space. You wouldn't know a real conversation if it hit you in the face. All you do is sit there with your smug little comments and your audience laughing at everything you say. My audience laughs because we try to make the show entertaining, Jon said, unlike whatever this is. Whatever this is? Meghan spun around. This is me refusing to be silenced. This is me standing up to bullies like you. Bullies? Jon stood up now too. Meghan, you came onto my show. You've been nothing but hostile and aggressive, and somehow I'm the bully? Do you hear yourself right now? I hear myself perfectly, she shouted, and what I hear is someone who's done being pushed around by people who think they're better than everyone else. I never said I was better than anyone, Jon said, his voice rising slightly. But I do expect a basic level of respect on my own show, something you clearly have no intention of giving. Respect? Meghan's laugh was almost hysterical now. You want to talk about respect? Where was the respect when you booked me on this show just to ambush me? Ambush you? Jon looked genuinely confused. What are you talking about? I asked you about your projects. That's it. You're the one who turned this into whatever circus this has become. Circus? Her face went red. Did you just call me a circus? I called this situation a circus, Jon clarified. Because that's what you've made it. That's it! Meghan threw her hands up. I am not staying here to be insulted like this. You're the only one who's been throwing insults, Jon pointed out. See? See? She gestured wildly at him. This is what I mean. You manipulate everything. You turn everything around. Meghan, there are cameras recording everything, Jon said. Everyone watching can see exactly what's happening here. Good, she screamed. Let them see. Let them see how I'm being treated. Let them see the real Jon Stewart, not this fake nice guy act. This isn't an act, Jon said, and his voice tight. This is me trying to maintain some professionalism while you have a complete breakdown on my show. Breakdown? Meghan grabbed her phone from her purse. I'm documenting this. I'm documenting every second of this abuse. Abuse? Jon looked at the audience, then back at her. Meghan, you need to calm down. Don't you dare tell me to calm down, she shrieked. Don't you dare use that patronizing tone with me. I'm using the tone of someone who's watching a grown adult throw a tantrum, Jon said flatly. Tantrum? She was shaking now. This is not a tantrum. This is righteous anger. This is what happens when you push someone too far. I asked you one question about your projects, Jon reminded her. One question. That's all it took for you to completely lose it. I didn't lose anything, Meghan shouted. I found my voice, and my voice is telling me that I don't have to sit here and take this. Nobody's making you stay, Jon said quietly. What? She stopped moving. What did you say? I said nobody's making you stay, Jon repeated. If you're this unhappy, the door's right there. Are you kicking me off your show? Her voice was dangerous now. I'm saying if you want to leave, you can leave, Jon clarified. But if you stay, you need to sit down and have an actual conversation, like an adult. Like an adult? Meghan's voice dropped to a hiss. You're going to lecture me about being an adult? Someone needs to, Jon said. The audience made a collective ooh sound. Meghan's face went through several expressions at once. That's it, she said, her voice cold now. That is it. I came here in good faith. I came here to share my story, to connect with people, and this is how you treat me. You came here and immediately started attacking everyone, Jon countered. Good faith has nothing to do with it. You don't get to tell me what my intentions were, she yelled. And you don't get to come on my show and act like this, Jon shot back. I've had murderers on this show who were more pleasant than you. The audience gasped again. Meghan stood frozen for a moment. Did you just compare me to a murderer? Her voice was barely above a whisper. I compared your behavior, Jon said. You're hostile, aggressive, completely uncalled for behavior. Uncalled for? She was shouting again. Uncalled for? Everything I've said has been completely justified. Based on what? Jon demanded. What have I done to you? What has anyone here done to you? You exist, she screamed. You and your show and your platform exist to tear people like me down. People like you, Jon repeated. You keep saying that. But I still don't know who you think you are that makes you so special that basic courtesy doesn't apply. Special? Meghan laughed wildly. You think I'm special? I'm just trying to survive in a world that hates me. Nobody here hates you, Jon said tiredly. We literally invited you on the show. You invited me so you could humiliate me, she accused. You're doing that all by yourself, Jon said. I haven't had to do anything. There it is, Meghan pointed at him triumphantly. There's the real you, the mean, nasty person behind the facade. Meghan, I've been incredibly patient, Jon said. More patient than you deserve at this point. Patient? She was pacing again. You call this patient? You've been attacking me since I sat down. I asked you about your projects. Jon's voice finally rose to match hers. That's it. That's all I did. Your tone, she yelled back. Your condescending, dismissive tone. My tone is the tone of someone who's exhausted, Jon said. Exhausted from dealing with someone who came here looking for a fight. I didn't come here looking for anything except respect, Meghan shouted. Then maybe you should try showing some, Jon shouted back. The studio went completely silent. Meghan stared at him, her chest heaving. How dare you? She whispered. How dare I what? Jon asked. How dare I expect you to behave like a reasonable person? How dare I not let you walk all over me and everyone here? You have no idea, she said, her voice shaking. You have no idea what I've been through. You're right, Jon said, his voice calmer now. I don't know everything you've been through, but I do know that whatever you've experienced doesn't give you the right to treat people this way. People like you don't understand, she said. People like me, Jon repeated. What kind of person do you think I am? The kind who's had everything handed to him, she said bitterly. The kind who's never had to fight for anything. You think this was handed to me? Jon gestured at the studio. You think I didn't work for this? You think I didn't face rejection and criticism and failure? It's not the same, she insisted. You're right. It's not, Jon agreed. Because when I faced those things, I didn't take it out on innocent people who were just trying to do their jobs. Innocent? Meghan scoffed. Nobody in this industry is innocent. Wow, Jon said. That's a sad way to see the world. It's a realistic way, she shot back. It's a bitter way, Jon corrected. And it's going to make you miserable if you keep it up. Don't you dare psychoanalyze me, she snapped. I'm not, Jon said. I'm just making an observation based on what I'm seeing right now. What you're seeing is someone who's fed up, she yelled. What I'm seeing is someone who needs help, Jon said quietly. Help? Her voice was shrill again. You think I need help? I think everyone needs help sometimes, Jon said. There's no shame in that. I don't need help from you or anyone else, she screamed. I need people to leave me alone. I need people to stop judging me. I need people to just let me live my life. Then maybe stop going on television shows, Jon suggested. Meghan's mouth fell open. What? If you want privacy, if you want to be left alone, then maybe stop seeking out public platforms, Jon said. You can't have it both ways. I can do whatever I want, she shouted. Clearly, Jon muttered. What was that? She demanded. I said clearly, Jon repeated louder, because you're clearly doing whatever you want right now, and it's clearly not working out well for anyone. This is unbelievable, Meghan said, shaking her head. This is absolutely unbelievable. Finally, something we agree on, Jon said. You're mocking me, she accused. I'm responding to you, Jon said. There's a difference. There's no difference, she yelled. You're just like everyone else. You pretend to be fair, pretend to be balanced, but really, you're just another puppet. A puppet? Jon raised his eyebrows. Who exactly am I a puppet for? The system, she gestured wildly. The establishment. The people who want to keep people like me down. Meghan, you married a prince, Jon said slowly. You're about as establishment as it gets. I left all that, she screamed. I walked away from it. And yet you can't stop talking about it, Jon observed. Because it defined my life, she yelled. Because it ruined everything. You're ruining this right now, Jon said. All by yourself. No, she shouted. You're the one ruining this. You and your attitude and your disrespect. My disrespect? Jon looked incredulous. Meghan, listen to yourself. Just listen to how you're talking. I'm talking like someone who's tired of being a victim, she yelled. Then stop acting like one, Jon yelled back. Meghan froze. The audience gasped. Even the crew members looked shocked. What did you just say? Meghan's voice was ice. I said stop acting like a victim, Jon repeated, not backing down. You came in here with a chip on your shoulder. You've been hostile and aggressive, and now you're playing the victim card because I'm not letting you get away with it. Get away with it? Her voice was rising again. Get away with what? Speaking my truth? Your truth seems to involve attacking everyone around you, Jon said. That's not truth. That's just toxicity. Toxicity? She laughed bitterly. You want to talk about toxic? Let's talk about this whole setup. And this power dynamic. You behind your big desk, me in the little guest chair. It's a talk show, Jon said flatly. That's how talk shows work. It's a metaphor, she shouted. A metaphor for everything that's wrong with this industry. It's a chair, Jon said. It's just a chair. Nothing is just anything, she screamed. Everything means something. Everything is a message. The message you're sending right now is pretty clear, Jon said. And what's that? She challenged. That you're not ready for this, Jon said simply. Not ready to be in public, not ready to have actual conversations, not ready to take any responsibility for your own behavior. Responsibility? Meghan was shaking with rage now. I take full responsibility for standing up to bullies like you. I'm not a bully, Jon said tiredly. I'm just a guy trying to do a show. A show where you make people feel small, she accused. The only person making you feel small is you, Jon said. I've been nothing but professional. Professional? She laughed hysterically. You've been condescending and rude and dismissive. I've been patient beyond belief, Jon corrected. But that patience is running out. Is that a threat? She demanded. It's a statement of fact, Jon said. This interview is over. You can't end the interview, she yelled. I just did, Jon said calmly. I'm not done talking, she screamed. Yes, you are, Jon said firmly. This is my show, and I'm ending this segment. You can't do this to me. Meghan was almost crying now from rage. I can, and I am, Jon said. You need to leave. I'm not going anywhere, she shouted. Then I'll have security escort you, Jon said quietly. The audience gasped again. Meghan looked around wildly, as if searching for allies. You wouldn't dare, she said. Try me, Jon replied. They stared at each other for a long moment. The tension in the studio was suffocating. Fine, Meghan finally said, her voice dripping with venom. Fine, I'll leave, but everyone will know about this. Everyone will know how I was treated here. They're watching it happen live, Jon pointed out. They can make up their own minds. They'll see the truth, she insisted. They'll see exactly what happened, Jon agreed. Meghan grabbed her purse and started walking toward the exit. Then she stopped and turned back. You're going to regret this, she said. I already regret booking you, Jon replied. Meghan's face went purple. You smug. Bye, arrogant. Goodbye, Meghan, Jon cut her off. This isn't over, she yelled. Yes, it is, Jon said calmly. Meghan stood there for another moment, then let out a scream of frustration and stormed off the set. The studio doors slammed behind her with a bang that echoed through the silent space. Jon stood at his desk, looking at the audience. Nobody knew what to say. The crew members were frozen in place. Well, Jon finally said, running a hand through his hair. That happened. The audience remained silent, still processing what they'd just witnessed. We're going to take a commercial break, Jon said quietly. We'll be right back. As the cameras cut away, the full weight of what had just occurred settled over the studio. The most shocking exit in talk show history had just played out in real time. And every single second of it had been captured on camera for the world to see.